Hello students, welcome to today's class. Our today's topic is prepositions. As you know very well about prepositions, that prepositions are made up of one word or more than one word. So when they are used in a sentence, they show relation between two nouns or two pronouns. The work of a preposition is to show relation between two nouns or two pronouns. For example, in, on, at, over, beneath, under, across, and many more. These all words are called prepositions. There are two types of prepositions. One is simple prepositions and the other one is complex prepositions. Now, what is the difference between a simple preposition and a complex preposition? Let us see. Simple prepositions are made up of one word. Here we can see on the whiteboard that all these prepositions are made up of one word each. In, on, at, beneath, across, above, more are there for as example, but here I have only written some. And just the opposite of it, complex prepositions have more than one word. They are made up of more than one word, two words or more than that. That's why they are called complex prepositions. Here some examples of complex prepositions are in spite of, along with, in favor of, in front of, despite of, and many more. So all these are called prepositions. Now what are the uses of these prepositions and how they function or work in the sentences? Let us try to understand. The examples that are given here in how it is used in the sentence, let us pay attention. She is in the school. So here in is the preposition that is showing the relation of one pronoun to the other noun. So she is where? She is in the school. Here it shows, here in shows, tells that where is she? She is in the school. Second thing, that is on. The book is on the table. So again it shows position or place, that where is the book? The book is on the table. Then at. Ram is at the bus stop. Here also at is the preposition that shows where is Ram? He is at the bus stop. Now in these sentences we saw that all these prepositions are telling one thing only. But there are other functions of the same prepositions in the sentences. So that we will study how they are used and what are the other uses of these same prepositions in a sentence. One more example of along with is here given in the complex preposition, that take your little brother along with you. Here along with is the preposition, complex preposition that is used to show the relation of little brother, your little brother, with you, the word you. So these are two types of prepositions. Now let us study about their functions, how they work in a sentence. Students, now we will see the functions of prepositions. Now how they work in a sentence. There are some functions of prepositions that are given here on the whiteboard. As you can see here, functions of prepositions means how the preposition work in a sentence. It works in a sentence. So first of all we will see that prepositions, it shows position. When it is used in a sentence, when a preposition is used in a sentence, it shows position. Let us clear it with the help of an example. She stood right at the end of the line. In this sentence, you can see that what is it denoting. Here the preposition at is mentioned and it tells that where is she standing. So it is telling the position that she stood where, right at the end of the line. So this preposition is here showing position. Now the other function of preposition is that it shows motion. Motion means movement. So how does it, we will clear it? Let us see. He swam across the lake. So in this sentence, you can see that across is the preposition that shows the noun, pronoun he, where he swam across the lake. So there is a movement from one part to the other part. So it is a motion and that's why it is shown with the help of the preposition across. So it shows motion. Then the third function of a preposition is it shows destination. Destination means a particular place or position. So let us see here the destination. Seeing the mother, the child ran to her. So where the child ran? To a particular place where his mother was. So seeing the mother, the child ran to her. So here to is the preposition. Now it also shows, preposition also shows origin. Origin means from where the some noun or anything begins. Such as she got a call from her aunt in Paris. So the call that came, from where did she get that call? From her aunt. Her aunt is here the noun that is showing relation with the girl who received the call. So she got a call from her aunt in Paris. So from is here showing the relation again. Now it also shows time. It tells us time. Preposition shows time. How? The show begins at what time? At 6 p.m. So here at is a preposition that shows time. The same preposition was used here to show position. So it is very common that prepositions can be used for many other functions. They can function in many ways. They can sometimes show position, they can sometimes show time, or they can also show motion or destination. So for that we have to be ready to understand them. After that comes preposition shows purpose. Now what is purpose means? When we do something, for that there should be a reason or cause. So here it shows, preposition shows purpose, such as I am preparing fresh juice. Why I am preparing that? For my sister, or for whom I am preparing that. There is a purpose, a reason behind the work. So I am preparing, what I am doing, my I is relation, I is the pronoun. This relation, it is shown with the help of for preposition with my sister. Now means. So preposition also shows means. It also functions as for means. What is the meaning of means? Means something that helps to work. So here we will see he can open locks. How he can open locks? With a hairpin. With the help of other noun, what is here described can be shown with the other pronoun or noun. So it shows relation. Everywhere we can see that the relation, he can open locks. Locks can be opened with a hairpin. So I am preparing fresh juice. For whom I am preparing fresh juice? For my sister. Then the show begins. When does the show begin? At 6 p.m. So all these statements show, in all these sentences we see that all the prepositions are showing different work. So these are the functions of prepositions. After that we will move to the difference between prepositions and adverbial particles. It is very common to make mistake while writing or using a preposition. Sometimes prepositions work as an adverbial particle also. So how to know the difference that it is not a preposition in the sentence, but it's an adverbial particle? We will study that in just now in this video. Now we will study, students, that what are prepositions and how they are, sometimes how they become adverbial particles. So here it is written, some prepositions can work as adverbs. Some prepositions can work as adverbs. If you know the work of an adverb, it will be very clear to you, children, that some prepositions can work as adverb. What is the work of an adverb? Adverb modifies a verb. It describes any action more clearly. In the same way, some prepositions work as an adverb in a sentence. So it is very, and that's why they are called. So those prepositions are called adverbial particles. Now, how to differentiate between a preposition and an adverbial particle? How we can bring out the meaning and the sense that it shows whether this word is a preposition used as a preposition or the same word is an adverbial particle. For that, you need to read some examples that are given in the course book. Along with that, it is very important to understand if it describes the verb or action, then it will be a particle, adverbial particle, because adverb always modifies a verb. In the same way, if it simply tells that where, when, how the action happened, for that, or it shows relation between two nouns or pronouns, it means that it is a preposition. So here we will see some example. From that, there is one example. If we say, if we take it from the book, that is, if we see these sentences, we will find out the difference, that whether the sentence, in the sentence, the word is used as a preposition or it is used as an adverbial particle. So let us see, children. He quietly climbed up the stairs. So here in the sentence is very clearly mentioned that he climbed up or down. So up is here showing the relation of him with the stairs. So this is a preposition. Now in the second sentence, not a single student, it is written two times, so I'll cut it one. Not a single student showed up for the yoga class. In this sentence, you can see that showed up. Up is here also used, but it is not doing the work of a preposition right now. It is describing, modifying the verb showed, and that's why here up is used as an adverbial particle. So in these two sentences, we try to find out that whether the same word is working as a preposition one time, and in the second time it is working as an adverbial particle or as a preposition. So that is very clear here given. Now we will study, students, about appropriate prepositions. What are appropriate prepositions? Some of the nouns, adjectives and verbs, they take a certain preposition after them. They take certain prepositions after them and they are used along with them only. So no other prepositions can be placed after them. That's why they are called appropriate prepositions used with certain verbs, adjectives and nouns. Here some examples are given and some are given in the course book, and there are other than them also as examples. So we need to learn them and we should try to keep revising them and using them in our language, spoken language and written English, so that we can be fluent with and we would be familiar with those words. So here let us see the examples, children. So as it is written that certain verbs, nouns, adjectives take certain prepositions after them and they cannot be changed or no other preposition can be used with them. So they are, here I have taken two examples. Verbs plus preposition. Agree is the verb. With that there is a fixed preposition, that is with. Then blame is a verb, and it is used with the fixed preposition for. Another time we will see here nouns. Pity is a noun. With that we use for as a preposition. Then pride is a noun. With this we use a fixed preposition in. Adjectives plus preposition. Proud is an adjective and we use of with it as a preposition, fixed preposition. Then sorry is an adjective and with this we use for. So other than them also there are many other appropriate prepositions followed or with the verbs, nouns and adjectives which you need to study and learn. I hope children these topics and points that are given in our course book is clear to you. After appropriate prepositions children, the another topic that is very important is common errors with prepositions. What is the meaning of this? There are some prepositions that look similar or that there is something that is very common between them, and that's why we make some mistakes. So for that we need to know their correct meaning and the usage so that we can avoid mistakes. So what are those errors? So that we will study with the help of the correct meanings. If we will know the correct meanings, then there would be no mistake for that. So some of the prepositions that are very common where we make mistakes are since, for, beside, besides, in, into, out, outside, then between, among. So it is very important for us to know about their meanings, about them, that what is the correct meaning of them. Generally we know some of them, but some are very different or unique, such as since. Since is used as a preposition to show a point of time. When we talk about a point of time, to show that relation in the sentence we use since. But when we use for, it means we are talking about a period of time, a duration of time. Okay, so that is the difference between since and for, that if you will read it in the book you will clearly understand that. Then beside means just next to me, and besides, here one s is added and that has made the difference, means in addition to, when we include something more other than what we have already in extra, as an extra. So that is here, in that sense besides is used as a preposition. Then difference between in and into. In is used to show something that is inside, coming inside or something like that, but into shows movement from top to bottom into something. So it shows that difference. In the same way out and outside has a difference. Out means from inside to out, somewhere in the open, but outside means just from inside to outside, very close, not very far away outside. Then between and among, in the same way we differentiate. Between is used when we talk about when we talk two people or something, we divide up between two. Among is used for more than two. So these are the common prepositions where we make common errors with them while using them. So we have to be careful while using them in the sentences. Here in the course book also there are some examples given. So since, for, beside, besides, between, among, in, into, out, outside. If you will study it from these words from the book, you will come to know with the help of examples that how the difference is shown. And I have clearly told you about their differences. So study these points and topics and try to understand prepositions well. Till then children, thank you.